You have no idea what's going on. You are not in control. You are completely lost in the Matrix. Many of you don't even understand what the Matrix means. I mean, like you're so deeply intertwined in the Matrix, you can't even realize you're living in it. I'm going to explain it to you, but it's up to you if you want to take the red pill or the blue pill. FYI, the red pill keeps you in the Matrix. If you don't want to know the truth, that's fine. There is good reason why the saying, ignorance is bliss, exists. Not knowing about the Matrix is perfectly okay for those of you who live shallow lives filled with personas and masks. So if you like the materialistic world where you have a group to identify with and want to stay there, that's perfectly okay with me. Don't watch the rest of this. And I'm also not saying the blue pill will rid you of ignorance. Until we can tap into the millions of bits of information our subconscious mind is taken in at any given moment, we're limited. Our conscious brains can only take in maybe 40 bits of information, so most perceptions of reality are just lost into this sea of nothingness. I have to explain a few things first. First off, the movie The Matrix is a little different than the Matrix I'm talking about. Are we living in a virtual world run by machines? Probably. But I'm not talking about the Matrix as a virtual world. Plus, I can't prove this is a virtual world, even though there is evidence to suggest we are living in a video game where a more advanced being created this holographic world we partake in. Could be a pimple-faced teenager of a higher intelligence species, I don't know. The recycling of faces is a good example of this. Gene expression is limited. There's not a infinite amount of possibilities on face structures, cheekbones, lips, nostrils. Once you see a picture of a Chinese person that looks exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you really start to question things. What I'm talking about is the matrix of living life based on systems and ideas others created for you. Identity politics is an example of this. For instance, are you a liberal or a conservative? You haven't figured out that these two groups were purposely designed in an attempt to divide masses of people. It's so simplistically done, too. It's all based on one personality trait. One group is agreeable and the other is disagreeable. Yet we feel it necessary to be part of a group and cut out roughly 50% of possibility out of our worlds. We think there are only two options and vote people into office based off the group we identify with. Living in the Matrix does not discriminate based on intelligence. You can graduate from Harvard and still live in the Matrix. You can be poor and have enough awareness to realize it is futile to put yourself into one of these two groups. Bipartisanship is a system created before you were born and is used to divide and conquer. There are plenty of other countries in this world where there is more than two parties running for office at one time. Here in the States, the words Democrat and Republican, liberal and conservative have become ingrained in us. We don't know anything else. All you have to do is control the media exposure in the mainstream. Your mind is so easily programmable. Repetition, and more repetition. You think you choose? Nah. It's so easy too. The more Big Macs you see in TV commercials, the more Big Macs you're gonna eat. Unless you know the truth about how Big Macs are made. Then you're a little bit too grossed out to eat a Big Mac. The subconscious mind deletes, distorts, and generalizes to conform to your beliefs. If you're a Republican or a Democrat, there is no information coming in that will make you change your belief system because you've already identified with a certain group. You've already closed the door to new possibilities. This is how the political structure in our country is run, and this is how the wealthy elite can spend money on the candidates of their choice because there are only two options. They only have to spend money to back two candidates. And just so you know, both these candidates are not working for the American public. They're working for corporations, but you already know this. Yet on Facebook, you keep posting your side's agenda, right? It's like you're trapped or so heavily entangled in an emotional feedback response loop, you can't help yourself but pick a side. This is exactly where they got you. All media outlets do is post emotionally tantalizing information, either positive for their supporters or negative to the opposition. And you can't seem to get away from it. Nothing is going to change unless you wake up. Congress has roughly a 10 to 15% approval rating, yet 90% of congressmen get reelected. 54% of people approve of their congressman or woman, meaning you think Congress sucks, but you don't think your congressman's poo doesn't stink. Let me clear this up for you. Your congressman's poo, it stinks, and it stinks really bad. It's time to wake up, people. Wake up!